She's currently making headlines for backing a film, a documentary film that bagged an Oscar nomination this year, The Elephant Whisperers. Please welcome Guneet Monga.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Mugdha. I'm so happy to be here.
Same. And thank you so much for doing this, Guneet. Thank you for speaking with Republic. Uh,
Yes.
no, of course, this is not the first time that, a film that you've backed, a documentary film that you've backed, is getting an Oscar nod. But does it feel any different?
Absolutely. No, it feels surreal, to say the least.
Yeah.
It's, I mean, I think any filmmaker's dream to be at the Oscars. And yes, I've been there a couple of times, but this is the first time I'm nominated. And my films have traveled, but to be a nominee is also a whole process. So this
Right.
is the first time I'm nominated. So I'm very excited and over the moon and very grateful above all.
Of course. I have to ask you, what got you on board? What drove you to, back a film that was about mahouts and, and their elephants? What drove you to, back this project?
So this project was approached to me by Netflix and by Kartiki, the director, Kartiki Gonzalez. And there is a little story. Kartiki had made a trailer, had already shot, discovered the story, taken it to Netflix, and Netflix reached out to me. And for me, it was just like, how can anyone say no to baby elephants? So it was really important for me to just back it because of course, the story is really important. It talks about conservation. It talks about so many things. The relationship between my nature and man, wild and human. It's almost sacred. It's a spiritual bond. But above all, that there's this amazing female creator, director, camera person, Kartiki Gonzalez, who has a very strong visual sense. So I just had to be a part of this journey. And one of my highlight was meeting Kartiki and seeing her purest vision for the film. It means a lot to me. And we've had a blast last 3.5 years being on this journey together.
Right. And I have to ask you, what do Bowman and Belly think of the Oscar nomination?
So, they have been told, and Kartiki has been in touch, and they're very excited and they're very humbled. I don't think they fully understand what this means. But yes, there are a lot of people coming to the reserve to meet them. There is a lot of excitement around. So they, of course, are getting to know that this is something really important.
Yeah. Verite filmmaking is not an easy task.
Yes.
What challenges did you face, while filming the documentary? Like you said, it was over a span of 3.5 years that, you guys shot the documentary. What challenges did you face? What odds did you overcome?
Kartiki was on it for 5 years. And as producers, we came on board and we put the film together and produced it. And my journey on this has been 3.5 years. I think more than anything, more than challenges, of course, weather, the mood of our Raghu and Amu, our elephants, because they're not actors and they, more than the challenge, it was almost like you just have to keep rolling because you never know when they'll give you a moment.
Right.
Belly telling Amu that just sit down here, and Amu agreed and started to sit down on her lap. It is something that, it just happened in a second. So you have to just constantly keep rolling because you never know when there will be a moment that will just be like, oh my God, it's not like you can give them instructions and they will follow. They're not tamed, they're not, but it's amazing, so I think getting moments, and just constantly rolling with cameras and no lights because you cannot use strong lights with, wild animals. And we were also very true to the rules of the jungle. So it was more about finding the moments and the weather challenges.
Right. Also, Guneet, I have to ask you this. Do you see the Oscar nod as kind of a validation for your work and the kind of work that filmmakers in India are doing in the present scenario?
Absolutely. I just think that India has an incredible lot of documentary filmmakers. I mean, if it was Rintu and last year with Writing with Fire, there has been Shirley Abrahams, there is now Shaunak Sen. It's just amazing, and of course Kartiki and all of us. It's a moment in time where documentaries from India are rising and are seeing the light, are being appreciated globally, and it's amazing that we have these many incredible filmmakers to push this forward and hopefully for the country to win.
Would you also say that it is a win for originality? Because a lot of now what we see is, kind of a lot of films are inspired or either remakes. Would you say that this is also a win for original cinema?
I mean, documentaries is something which is so personal. It's a different genre altogether. I mean, I would say it's a
Absolutely.
win. It's a win for audiences to be able to experience it. I think platforms like Netflix have brought in the world of documentaries so that firstly audience can consume it and
Hmm.
not think that, oh, this is not something for me. So documentaries are so interesting, and the minute it is real life, the stakes get so high. It's real people telling their story, and Verite takes its own time to develop, nurture, beats to come in, drama to come in. Otherwise it's the same thing, life is unfolding. So it's a very different format than fiction. So I always feel like the stakes are higher in a documentary to make documentary this engaging and and as a part of pop culture. So it's more real, definitely. In fact, I have some friends who these days say that I only watch documentaries
Oh, yes, yes.
because people, you grow a little more, you learn a little more, and it's not something that is made up.
Well, that, of course, was Guneet Monga.